Marty brought up the whole casino thing, and maybe doing jobs together. You know, aside from him doing it with the second crew and whatnot. Look, let's be real here. Marty and Larry and Oscar, if you know, rest his soul. Probably the fact that we got to, you know, what we're considering to potentially trim.
And there's another guy I want to throw in there, but yeah.
Who?
We'll talk about Psy after this conversation.
Well, Psy's not bought in, so but yeah, we'll talk about Psy in a bit. Marty brought up the casino. I feel like maybe giving him a shot through that to see if maybe things change, could work out. I feel like he's super invested.
I'm not going anywhere near that casino after I witnessed the past couple days.
Well, I spoke to him about whether or not John Paul was anywhere near that, and he said no. He would never let John Paul ever near that.
It's not, this is just, listen, you guys can do what you want, right? Because we're all men here. But for me,
right,
I witnessed a massive blowout in situation, right or wrong. Personally, I think what Martin did was right. John Paul, karma, he deserved it. I'm not saying what he did was wrong, okay? But he caused the show and then tried to pawn it off to me to clean it up. I'm not going to go into business with a guy that's going to have a mentality like that. That is just my opinion. Everyone can have different opinions. I'm not going to stop anybody from going into business with Martin. You guys do what you want. That is just what I witnessed, and I'm never going to deal with ever again.
So what you're saying is you're done with Martin?
I'm not really done with Martin. I'm just not going to go into business with the guy. Like if we decide we want to keep him in and he wants to earn and do all that, that's what I'm saying. The drama doesn't need to be there.
But the relationship there is kind of severed, right?
Yeah, but there's 5 leaders. Why we're not going to be cool with everybody that gets bought into the crew. Like we can't live in this pretend world where everything's going to be harmonious all the time. We're all going to get along. Yeah. You might just not like somebody that earns for us. That is what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
The thing is, what I'm getting, like, I don't even know what even is the issue. Like, I'm sick. I think what people like to do is they like to make up in their head like this weird thing, like, well, if you know, like, where do the issues even come from? But was it because they had to go off and make their own side heist crew? I mean, and the reason for that is because, you know, it only takes 6 people, so they made their own side crew. But, like, where do these issues even come from? Where are these feelings, like, getting hurt even coming from? Like, what's even happened? Like, nothing. I don't get where a lot of, these Martin, Larry, like, they have these conversations about not feeling, like, included really come from, to be honest. I spend my whole day down in the sewers not talking to anyone, but, like, I don't get these, like, kind of those overwhelming feelings, like I'm feeling like I'm left out. I know at any point I could call someone up and be like, hey, like, can I come, you know, can I come do this if I wanted to do that? It's like this, to me, it's like this whole, like, thing of people feeling like they need to be, like, included in something that, like, it just isn't really like that. And I don't like, listen, I think it's great they made their own side heist crew. It helps us, but, like, that was on them. Storing those USBs in his house and then him getting taken by Jean Paul falls on them. Because they could have stored them in our house and they would have been safe, but they chose not to do that. So in their mind, to me, like, I think that they're trying to buy into our shit, but, like, they want, I think they still kind of want their own thing on the side, and it bit them in the ass, to be honest. It did. You know, they're storing stuff other places, and they got fucked over for it. Like,
that's what I told them yesterday too.
Because I think they're half bought in, if you want me to be honest. That's the vibe I get.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of emphasizing, like, when somebody's 100% bought in, it works. When somebody's 100% bought in, it's literally virtually 0 issues. Now, what I mean 0 issues, there's going to be minor things, right? Ilya going down to the fucking basement, getting clocked by Teddy. People are humans. There's going to be minor issues, but these are, like, non-issues. We're not going to fucking lose mind and time and stress over that shit. It's going to happen. When somebody, you can just tell when somebody's not 100% bought in, a lot of issues are being created over nothing. But it's over the fact that the person isn't 100% bought into what we're doing. They have a problem with what we're doing, so why do they buy in?
You spoke to me yesterday about how we had a lot of people and shit, and how, you know, he didn't want to be, I guess, a part of the problem when it came to deciding who was going to go on what heist. So, you know, he kind of felt like making a second crew would have alleviated that a little bit for us. Kind of along those lines. I wish Gigi was here to clarify a little bit more, but
I mean, them making a second crew isn't like them making a second. Okay, them making a second crew. Them bringing Jean Paul into the crew. None of that was an issue. None of that is even a problem. I don't even care that they did it. Jean Paul even stabbing them in the back. To me, I don't even care that that happened. What I care is how that was handled afterwards. It was pawned off to somebody else to deal with when you were the one who made the bet. If this all happened, Martin took initiative, dealt with it himself, solved the problem, whatever himself, there's no issue. Because things are going to happen. Issues are going to arise. Drama is going to come no matter what. The fact is here, you know, listen, guys. I was the one that had to deal with all the phone calls. I had to deal with the fucking yelling. I had to deal with the fucking threats. I had to deal with the pressing. Everyone's blowing up my phone. I had to deal with all of it. Okay, so you guys maybe don't see it the way I see it. But the problem was pawned off to me. I had to make a decision. I had to deal with it.
Yeah.
So,
I saw it
so
firsthand.
just to clarify, if one of our guys goes, hey, I want to make a second crew do this, go do it.
We're not going to stop.
Look, these problems come up, deal with the problems. If you're taking initiative and everything you're doing, there's going to be no problems.
Yeah, that fucked it up a little bit for him. I do have to say.
He literally called
Don't
me
get
and
me
goes, I'm going to sell everything I have. I'm going to move up north. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, okay, well, like that's not how that works. You shot the guy. We have to deal with this.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough because on one hand, I do want to, you know, see it through with him, see him kind of like, you know, flourish and get a little bit more involved. But on the other hand, I see like your side as well, you know. So I'm kind of torn. I don't know. It's difficult because if, for example, if we go by your side, and it's not necessarily about choosing sides, but why would we want to work with somebody that pawns shit off to somebody else, you know? But at the same time, maybe it's a lot of talent that's lost if we let him go. So,
well, it was a mistake. Listen, it's not like Martin made a mistake.
I mean, sorry.
You know,
Yeah.
he did the right thing. I mean, you know, it's not the easiest thing to shoot Jean Paul. You know, it takes some guts to do that. It's just, I think he buckled afterwards. Probably didn't know how to handle it. You know, probably got fucking realized, you know, how much probably shit he was in when all of a sudden you got fucking Jean Paul and Chan Gang kind of pressing all of us. He probably got overwhelmed. Didn't really know how to handle it. Like, he made a mistake. Like, people are allowed to make mistakes. I don't want to like just like, to me, Martin isn't like a lost cause because it happened. It's you know, I just me personally, I don't think we.
It circles back to what we were saying, right?
Yeah, it's more. I'm more just over the conversation of like this same old, like, you know, people getting in their feelings, feeling like they're left out, not part of things, don't like how things work, don't understand how things work. It's just like we should just be past that because I feel like it's so fucking easy to get and it works so well.
It circles back to what we said earlier, right? There's 5 leaders for a reason. We're not all gonna like everybody, so maybe, you know. For example, you see the potential there, Luciano, and you want to try and, you know, extract it or whatever, then by all means. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying we have to get rid of the fucking guy. It's just understanding that we might have to trim the fat. We might have to get rid of him, but we might not have to, especially if somebody wants to, you know, take control of the situation. Now, to kind of end the whole thing, though, right? I was just saying this. Martin and Jean Paul are inseparable. They will eventually make up, and this, in my opinion, eventually will happen again.
I did ask him about that as well, you know, because I know you've said that multiple times already. I asked him, what does this leave you with John Paul? Because, you know, I know you guys shared a key to the house, and you guys are running business together and whatnot, doing heists. He said that it's never going to go back to that, and that he would keep it, if anything, strictly business with the guy, transactional. But I don't know. And like you said, you know the guy more than I do.
I think there's definitely some learning points here. Listen, we gave Jean Paul a chance, okay? We went in halves with this fucking contract, you know, tried to do business with him. He's proven time and time again he cannot be trusted. So going forward, I don't want to be doing business with Jean Paul. If we have to, you know, I mean, I still feel like at least we can buy this guy out and keep the blueprint. It didn't go completely tits up, but he's proven that he's willing to do whatever it takes he needs to do to put himself first. Or get, you know, he's gonna steal, he's gonna break fucking agreements, he's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, we can't control people. If Martin's gonna have a house, have his own shit, he's done side highs, he has guns, like, it all falls on him. Long as our shit doesn't get taken, our shit from the crew, I don't give a fuck, to be honest. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like,
it's when our stuff gets taken, that's when punishments are gonna go out if someone's fucked up.
I don't
Like
even, I don't even give a shit if Martin and Jean-Paul make up. If Martin is willing and ready to handle that and keep us out of it, by all means, he's his own fucking man. I'm not going to tell him who to be friends with, who to not forgive. The whole point here is it doesn't become our problem. That is a completely isolated problem to him.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna happen, like, and that's fine. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know, they're gonna make up, like, you know, and they might work together again. But it's on Martin to make sure that he doesn't get himself in a position where, you know, Jean-Paul can steal from him and then violence happens. It's completely on him.
Yeah.
So I tell you right now, Jean-Paul ain't going anywhere near our shit. No way.
Yeah, which brings me
anything,
to another question just to ask: how do we feel about him having a key to that house still?
Well, I don't doubt Martin's loyalties right now.
Well, it's not loyalties. It's more so vulnerability.
Well, it comes kind of hand in hand, right?
It's hand in hand, but it's like he makes up with Jean-Paul. They get into violence again. He gets clapped up. The key's taken. Shit like that. That's more of the side I'm thinking about.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
I'm not thinking about him coming in and robbing us. I'm thinking more about him losing that key to motherfuckers who are going to come in and rob us.
Right. I feel like doing anything with that key right now is just going to push this guy even further out. I don't know.
Something to
I don't think
about.
it's the move. Yeah, I don't think it's the move right now. I don't think John Paul's going to do anything to Martin, but yeah, something to think about, I guess.
I don't see why Martin would need a key personally. I don't like unless I'm wrong. I like to take a look at the numbers. I like to see how much dirty cash he's depositing. Because I mean, what does Martin really do at the house?
Oh, well, you know there's no house robberies, brother. I know it's hard for you to understand.
and
it's
it is
called
a
role
risk,
playing,
Wayne's
man.
right.
It is called role playing, man.
He has his own house, and he's clearly storing stuff there separate from us. So why run that risk, you know? It's not like he's keeping all his shit there. He isn't doing that.
Yeah. I like the way. I mean, like I said, we can't go back in time, right? But like, for example, I think Ilya, the way I love that I can tell Ilya is so frustrated without having a key to the house. I love it because the minute he gets that key, he's gonna feel that reward, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we completely big, like a massive fuck up. The way we did keys, where we brought people in, you know, and I just feel like big mess, and it doesn't look good.
Even with Ilya, he's like the guinea pig for the new shit that I want to test. Like once we promote that guy, like I want to do like a whole little thing on the fucking docks there. Like I want things to start feeling more important to people.
Yeah,
I wish I can go back in time and redo this all over again. But hindsight 20 fucking 20.
sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.